Can't decide which tropical paradise to visit off the coast of Brisbane? Well, then let me help you decide with comparing two of the most popular beachside destinations, Moreton Island versus North Stradbroke Island. As a Brisbane local, both these islands have become my go-to beach getaways, but since they each have their own charm and ways to see them, I'm going to round down the options and detailing the differences for you in today's video. On a brief outlook, both Moreton Island and North Stradbroke Island have pristine beaches and phenomenal views. Therefore, deciding which one is worth visiting all comes down to the adventure you want and your travelling options. Thanks to the Tangalooma Resort, Moreton Island is the best spot for snorkelling and diving near Brisbane, but also the beach four-wheel driving and camping spots. But day tripping to the resort is also a highlight for the wildlife and the dolphin feeding program, as well as the accommodation. On the other hand, North Stradbroke Island is ideal for the surfing beaches, a large community, sealed roads to get you around, and a public transport system. Brilliant diving spot for manta rays and the beachside camping. But it's their similarities that make them unique. They're both one of the largest sand islands in the world, coming behind Fraser Island as the largest, North Stradbroke coming second, Moreton Island at third, and Bribie Island is the fourth largest. But to help you decide better, here's some pros and cons for each island. Starting with Moreton Island and the pros. It's close to Brisbane and easily accessible by ferry. Takes about 1.5 hours to reach the island from the mainland port. Have a perfect snorkelling spot on the Tangalooma Resort, shallow enough to allow beginners to experience it. Offers a variety of activities that lets visitors interact with wildlife on land and underwater. Surrounded by pristine and clear water beaches that allow visitors of any age to have fun and unforgettable beach experience. Every night the dolphins come to the shores and the eco program allows you to feed them a specially prepared diet from the resort. The Tangalooma Island Resort enables visitors to stay overnight without camping. As for Moreton Island's cons, we have local and overseas tourists flock to the island, especially during weekends, public and school holidays. Unless you bring your own car or purchase a guided tour, you can only walk to specific areas on the main beach. Tangalooma Resort visitors cannot access the resort facilities unless you've pre-booked a casual visitor day pass. Ferry prices can be pricey, especially if you're bringing your own vehicle to the island. Next, for North Stradbroke Island and the pros. Close to and easily accessible from Brisbane at Cleveland via ferry. It only takes about 30 to 40 minutes to travel from the mainland to the island. Certain beaches have large or medium waves, which are great for surfing. Home to more than 2,000 locals, giving visitors easy access to grocery stores, restaurants, local shops and cafes. Guests can access several beach locations, each catering to their different needs. Getting to and from certain areas on the island is easy and convenient because of their public transportation system. Manta Bommy is one of my favourite dive sites near Brisbane. As for Straddy's cons, since it's close to the mainland, there are many people who day tour or stay for extended periods in the holidays. Being close to the mainland also resulted in a higher cost of accommodation, food and activities, much like a lot of Queensland islands. Having lots of cars, tourists, attractions and activities results in a noisy environment. Moreton Island and North Stradbroke Island are both located off the coast of southeast Queensland near the state's capital of Brisbane. Both are relatively close to each other and easily accessible from the mainland via a quick ferry ride. This makes them both a perfect spot for beachside day trips from the city. It only takes about 75 minutes for a ferry to reach Moreton Island and about 30 to 40 minutes to arrive at the pier on North Straddy. So how do you get there? There are 2 ferry boats that you can ride to Moreton Island depending on which part of the island you want to go to. One directly drops you off at the Tangalooma Island Resort, where all the resort facilities and amenities are. It departs from 220 Holt Street Wharf in Pinkenba and drops passengers off at the Tangalooma Jetty. It operates 4 times a day and you choose the times based on your schedule and how long you're staying. The other way is with the MyCat ferry, which leaves from the port of Brisbane and includes the car carrier and drops you off at the other side of the Tangalooma Resort. This is your best option if you're planning to bring your four-wheel drive vehicle, which does need a beach driving permit, or you would like to visit the wrecks. This is also one of the cheapest options to get there if you just want to hang out on the beach for the day. Just keep in mind there is no access to the resort facilities unless you pre-purchase a casual day pass. On the other hand, getting to North Stradbroke Island, it can be easily accessed by the car carrier and passenger ferry. Book a passenger boat through the Stradbroke Flyer or the car carrier through SeaLink, which both depart from the Toondah Harbour in Cleveland and docks at Dunwich on the island. These two boat companies operate up to 10 times a day and sometimes more on school holidays. But there are also options for organised tours, especially if you want someone else to take care of the logistics for you. Once you arrive at Dunwich, you can either drive your own car or ride the public bus to your resort or another destination on the 18-kilometre stretch of road. You can also rent a car or a scooter in advance for your private service on the island. Taking the passenger ferry and using the public bus is one of the cheapest ways to get there. It's even just slightly cheaper than Moreton. But, like Moreton, four-wheel driving on the beach will require a beach permit, but not if you're driving on the sealed roads. So what about accommodation? Well, the Tangalooma Resort boasts a range of accommodations to cater to their guests' different tastes and budgets. But if you want to save some money, I recommend booking a run-of-the-house room or a standard hotel room, as this is what I always book. However, just because they're budget-friendly doesn't mean they lack facilities and restrict balcony views. Alternatively, there are more available if you want accommodation that has added convenience, larger space and luxury. This includes the deluxe hotel rooms, resort units, family suites, beachfront villas, deep blue apartments, holiday homes and penthouses. But note these are all included in the one resort. Likewise, North Stradbroke Island offers accommodations that fit every budget. Camping grounds are also available for the DIY travellers. We pitched a tent at Flinders Beach during one of our visits and are planning to try out alternative sites on Main Beach. We also have glamping tents, hotel rooms, service apartments, and resorts are available at your convenience. We've also stayed at the Anchorage Beach Resort, which was a budget-friendly hotel in front of Home Beach. However, if you fancy a luxurious beachfront villa, then you can find some of these at Point Lookout, which is one of the more popular areas on Straddy. So how many days do you need in each? Well, you can spend at least 2 to 3 days to fully enjoy the activities on the west coast of Moreton Island. That way you can experience certain activities that the day visitors don't have access to, like the late night beach strolls, stargazing, sunset sunrises, and the wildlife encounters. Staying overnight is also the best way to enjoy camping and explore less travelled areas on the island. But with the ferry prices and the size of the island to get around, I would think you'd need at least a week. However, if you are on a tight budget, day trips are also possible and give you enough time to visit the hotspots of Moreton. But I'll link a couple of videos in the description to help you see the day trips we've done. On the other hand, North Stradbroke Island is relatively larger than Moreton. Hence, spending more days on it is ideal to get your money's worth. A 4-day trip will allow you to take enough time exploring each spot and experience various activities. It is possible for a day visit, and I'll link a video in the description for the cheapest way to get here. But there are options for organised tours to save costs getting around, or you can do it on your own. This includes seeing the Point Lookout Beach, Shopping District, Cylinder Beach or Amity Point. Although you won't have the opportunity to explore these secluded places on the island unless you take a four-wheel drive vehicle. But just like Moreton, car-carrying ferries can be a little pricey and more worth it for a longer stay. So what are the best things to do? Well, Moreton Island offers various outdoor activities which obviously depend how you get there and how you're getting around. But here are some of the activities just to give you an idea. Join a quad biking ATV tour to explore not only the famous spots on the island, but also some of its secluded areas and hidden gems not known to day visitors. Take a 10-minute ride in a helicopter, or go parasailing to get a view of the island. Go to the jetty at night and feed the wild dolphins a fish. Rent a transparent kayak and explore around the wrecks without getting wet. Experience sand tobogganing for a rush of adrenaline. Snorkel the Tangalooma wrecks and witness the vast, healthy marine life underneath. Walk around until you see several wildlife animals like dugongs, sea turtles, kookaburras, pelicans, and migrating whales. On the other hand, here's some of the things that we love doing on North Stradbroke Island. Going fishing or swimming at Amity Pier. Visit every beach spot on the island like Main Beach, Home Beach, Cylinder Beach, Deadman's Beach, and Frenchman's Beach. See various wildlife such as the koalas, kangaroos, seabirds, dolphins, and sea turtles. Take a break and go freshwater swimming at Moira Springs or one of my favourites at Brown Lake. Get up close with manta rays and nudibranchs when you go scuba diving at Manta Bommy. Spot whales breaching in the distance from the headland. Experience beach camping at Flinders Beach and Main Beach. Ride the waves while surfing at Main Beach. Cylinder Beach is also a great option for smaller waves, which is best for bodyboarding. Walking along the sandy trail to get next to Blue Lake? Take a relaxing morning walk at the North Gorge and South Gorge Boardwalk. This is also a brilliant place to spot the local wildlife. So do you need to hire a car? Well, Moreton Island is pretty accessible from the mainland, but once you set foot onto the island, you will be forced to walk on foot to explore the whole area. So if you want to tour the entire island conveniently and don't want to miss a single spot, having a car you can drive is necessary. However, the alternative is booking a guided tour from Brisbane. On the other hand, hiring a car in North Stradbroke Island might not be necessary since the island has a public transport system. However, if you don't want to be limited to the sealed roads, bringing your own four-wheel drive or renting one on the island would be the best option. Different varieties of sharks, the most common ones being reef sharks and wobbegong, swim along the wrecks on Moreton Island occasionally. Despite that, there are limited risks while swimming or snorkeling, as these species are generally not interested in humans. Meanwhile, great white sharks, grey nurse and bull sharks cruise along the Queensland coast, but venture more in the open water areas. We've been diving with some of these near Stradbroke Island, but there is limited risk and not in areas where daily tourists are likely to be. Some of the things that you can do to avoid encounters with sharks are to avoid swimming at night, alone, or in unsupervised areas. So which has more tourists? Well, Stradbroke Island and Moreton Island are both known as attractive and popular getaways for locals and overseas tourists. In my opinion, Moreton Island has become famous for international tourists because of the Tangalooma wrecks. This particular attraction is so popular that people started to refer to the island as Tangalooma Island. Additionally, the popularity of Moreton skyrocketed when it became a filming location for the live-action movie of Scooby-Doo, starring Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Despite that, North Stradbroke Island remains the most visited site by local travellers. One major reason is it's the closest island to the mainland, but more reasons extend to many accessible camping sites, convenient facilities, and numerous attractions and activities. Truthfully, I think most islands located along the Queensland coast are expensive to visit, and I've been to most of them. As a result, neither Moreton nor Stradbroke Island are any exception. However, there are ways to make them cheaper with a bit of planning. Obviously, this includes organising your time schedule, what you want to do, and how you plan to get around. This means while Matt and I have a four-wheel drive vehicle to get there, sometimes we opt for day tours when we want a quick getaway. Since the ferry transfers and costs associated with cars are more expensive, we will save that money when staying for longer periods. In general, when concerned about physical safety with crowd-driven accidents like pickpockets, unprovoked detention and loss of personal property, I don't think either island will pose a threat. However, dangers involving water safety and using vehicles on the island can inherit certain risks. This includes not wearing a wetsuit for wreck snorkeling and cutting yourself, manoeuvring around other boats in the water, falling off the quad bikes, and I've seen someone breaking their arm doing this, four-wheel driving without experience or recovery gear, not taking suitable footwear for some activities, or swimming alone at night. On all of these occasions, you should always follow advice from guides or talk to local people for current warnings. Additionally, know that lifeguards are limited to the popular beaches and it might not be a good idea to go swimming on your own. Both islands generally have warm tropical climates since they are situated off the coast of southeast Queensland. That means that visiting the islands at any time of year is totally possible. But if you want to enjoy the best various water activities, visiting during the summer from October through April is the optimal time. It's certainly when I would go to snorkel the wrecks or swimming when the temperatures range from 24 to 35 degrees Celsius. But no, this is also the rainy season. However, if you're not a fan of the summer heat, you can still visit during winter from June through August. And surprisingly, this is my favourite time to visit for a weekend getaway to hang out at the resort when the temperatures range from 15 to 24 degrees Celsius. In the end, while choosing between Moreton and North Stradbroke Island can be a challenge for first-time visitors, I hope this video has helped you decide for your group. With that said, click for the playlist here and you can check out other islands we've visited in Queensland. Apart from that, thanks so much for watching today's edition, guys, and I will see you for the next one.